I don't know why. I just booted in. For whatever reason, the ship just feels dead. Like it's not like it's not gonna move. Like I'm gonna hit the gas and nothing's gonna happen. I don't know why. I think it's just the way the light's coming through the window over there. It doesn't feel right. Okay, hello, good morning, and welcome everybody to episode 43, I think, of Nebula Quest. I am noden'gin, your host. As always, I just want to get this here star locked up. I think it's like a red dwarf, right? Yeah. I had a feeling that there was another star in this system. Like, it gave me a, hey, there's another star in this system kind of vibe. I'm gonna do a dump. Okay, we got nothing. Okay, let's hide this. Let's clear our thing here. Unlock destination. Let's get into frame shift. Okay, so I got many things to talk about. I have a list. I have a list of things. So the first thing is a cool, interesting thing for me. Anyways, I have finally come up with a design for a space for like a noden'gin space coffee mug. So I'm just gonna do like one. It's gonna be, or maybe I'll do like a run of like 4. So I'll have like a few extra just sitting around. So there's not gonna be any of them here. I'll try to put the design here on the screen. I doodled this up with absolutely no stolen images. Actually, I might have used some reference material, but I didn't blatantly steal anything. No, that looked promising. Okay, let's get back looking at this guy here. See, look at that. There's an orbit. There's a giant orbit. Okay, so let's follow the orbit around. Let's just see if we can spot anything. Fuck. So presumably over this way somewhere. Okay, let's get on the plane of this orbit here so I can actually see what's going on. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Finally came up with a design that I really like with it. So I don't know, I'll probably come up with another one later. And like, if there's any interest in a space coffee mug, shoot me a message and we'll figure out something. But for the most part, it's just for my own enjoyment. Until some point when it's not just for my enjoyment. The other thing that I want to talk about was Thursday's episode of Nebula Quest. The audio was all out of whack. There was no ship sounds. You may have heard me talking about how I had a new audio device hooked up at that point in time, and it's gone now. It's just gone. It was not working out, so I just got rid of it. I will be replacing it at some point, but I wonder if that's it. It definitely looks like it's moving. Let's head over this way. It kind of looked like that was moving inside that nebula. I guess it's not nebula, I guess that's the galaxy. It's just the galaxy. Yeah, so that's gone. Alright, but, okay, so here we go. This is where we talk about the serious parts. There's 2 things that are very serious that I want to talk about today, and number 1 is something that has made me extremely mad. I was very frustrated by this. So, I don't know I think I was talking about how at some point I was thinking about picking up a 3DS or something like that, Nintendo 3DS, because I'd never played a Pokemon game, and I really wanted to play a Pokemon game, just because that's one of those things I've never done. You know, it's like, Pokemon was sort of like just after my time, and so it was never really something that I got into personally. I mean, there's a lot of like gaming culture and things that are about like referencing Pokemon and things like that. It's just one of those, like, I don't know. It seems like one of those things that you need to kind of do for geek cred. Anyways, plus, you know, it's a fun game, as it turns out. That's besides the point. So the point is that I finally broke down well, not breakdown, but I finally decided, I'm like, that's it, I'm gonna do it. So I bought the other day off of Amazon a 3DS XL, one of the new 3DS XLs. I have to classify that it's a new 3DS XL. And then I picked up Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Let's just keep going. Bring the Alpha and the Sapphire all in one word. So I bought this, and it showed up at my door. I was super excited, and I get it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not really an instruction manual kind of guy, but I'm like, you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see. Because I'm opening the box and I'm looking in the box. I'm like, oh, there's this 3DSL. Like, here it is. Like, here's the thing, and I'm looking at it, but I'm like, there's no charger in here. So then I'm like, okay, well maybe you can just plug it into like a normal like USB thing. No, you cannot. It's a proprietary fucking thing. So then I open up the instruction manual just because I'm curious now. So I'm like, okay. Point number 1. Alright. Take your 3DSL out of the box and plug in the charger not supplied. Are you fucking kidding me? How do you not supply a charger for a device with the fucking device? I couldn't comprehend, and it's the first step. So it's like, okay, so then I'm sitting here going like, alright, like what the fuck? Like, is this like a special like Amazon like 3DS XL where they're like, oh yeah, we don't do those because we don't, there's like a special one because, you know, it's going in the mail and this is smaller and blah 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 blah. No. North America, Europe, none of them got chargers, just period. The 3DS XL is not sold with a charger at all, as far as I can tell. I was reading an article about it because I started doing research. I was like furious. And it's like, yeah, just didn't supply one. And Nintendo said, yeah, well, you know, to keep costs down, they didn't put one in because they figured most people would already have had a 3DS or a DSi in the past, and the charging cable, the AC adapter, is exactly the same, which is fantastic. If you've happened to have had a 3DS or a DSi in your past, if this is your first, foray into the handheld gaming world, which it could very well be, you're gonna fucking need this thing. So then you have to go out and buy one of these things separately for like $15. Now, and that's the thing that fucking kills me, is that the quote unquote from Nintendo was, oh, we're doing this as a cost saving thing. It was $15. How much cost savings are you? Or is it like, oh, we designed the packaging already and we forgot to put space for the fucking charger in it? That's what it feels like to me. Not like, oh, we're trying to do something to save fucking anybody money. You're not saving me $15, alright? Nobody's sitting here going like, oh, you know what, I was going to get one of those new 3DS XLs, but it's it's $12 more expensive than I really wanted to pay. Nobody's going to fucking say that. And that's assuming that it actually costs that much. Just put it in the goddamn box. I couldn't believe it. I was just blown away. Why does this view keep changing? I used to think it was just related to when there was updates, but I think they just change. It just changes to a different view whenever damn well feels like it. Let's go here. Actually, is there anything else different that we want to go to around here? I want to go to this. Look at how blue that is. That's where I want to go. I want to make a note of that. Ep.43 197. Gotta write it down, because if I tab, I think it's gonna kill my recording. So Ep 3197. Just in case we don't get there on this trip, in this episode, then we have the destination, because that looks really cool. In blue, very cool in blue. Oh, we're getting low on fuel too. Oh shit, we're very low on fuel. Not very low, but low enough that I'm worried about it. Do you think I can fuel around this star? Where was that star? It's just a red dwarf. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of weary about this. Thank you. Okay. Let's just hang out right here for a minute, and we'll just pick up some fuel, and we can chat for a second. Okay. Yeah. So it didn't fucking come. Anyway, so luckily I was raging about this. Oh, I gotta close this before I can. I was raging about it, and my sister was like, "Well, just come over and pick up." She's got a 3DSL, so I picked up her charger, so at least I could fucking use it. Like, I could at least plug it in and get like that initial charge out of the way, so that I could actually fucking use the damn thing. Because that was the other thing, is that there was no fucking battery power in the damn thing. Like, it was completely like wouldn't turn on dead. Couldn't believe it. I was just like, I didn't understand how they could sell this device like that. That just blew me away. I did go out the next day and buy a charger, like I said, for $14. But I'm like, seriously? It still angers the blood. Nice cup of space coffee. But yes, so Pokemon, I'm really enjoying it. I'm playing the game. I'm playing as a boy. His name is Noden. You might have guessed. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Like, especially, I don't do a lot of mobile. I don't do a lot. I don't do any mobile gaming. Basically, I don't drastically increases our speed without super increasing our heat. So let's slow it down. So I'm trying to find a good money spot where we're getting fuel and not increasing heat. Somewhere in here. Somewhere in the 14 range. But it's pretty fun. I'm pretty happy with my Pokemon experience so far. But yeah, because I don't do any mobile gaming, basically. Like, I've got a few games on my phone, on my iPhone, but I don't play them. I usually, for the most part, with my downtime, I'm like checking Instagram and like Twitter or Facebook, or if worst case scenario, maybe I'll look at Reddit, but I don't really even look at Reddit very often. And even then, I just look at a couple of specific subreddits. I don't really do any mobile gaming. So like all these like clan war clans or any of those, like, I've never played any of these games, and there's actually a big group of people who play one of those games at work, and they're like, "Well, you should play with us." I'm like, I don't really like to do mobile gaming. So this whole suddenly having a 3DS, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna bring this and I'll just play this on my downtime. I'm like, that's stupid. Why wouldn't you won't play a mobile game on your phone, but you'll buy a $280 fucking like handheld device so that you can play Pokemons. Anyways, it's a fun, silly game, and I am enjoying it. Is the point. So, the other thing that I was going to talk about, and I hope that I have time to finish talking about it, this one's not angering, it's not exciting, this is just me being, like, awkward. Just super, super awkward. If you're done listening, if you've heard all the awkward Noden that you want to hear from these last few episodes, this would be a good time to stop listening, and you have my permission to do so. But before I do it, I'm going to let you know that it has to do with being shampooed. Yes. So, I recently got a haircut. Like, I got my hair trimmed, I should say. I've got fairly long hair, as they say. And,
fuel scoop disengaged.
I'm good now. I'm good with that amount of fuel for now. Okay, so let's unlock. So I recently got my hair trimmed, and it's been needing it for a while, just because it's been getting really long, and this is like the initial grow out stage too, so like it's gotten long, but it's like I've basically been uncut for like a year and a half. I haven't had a single haircut. So it was uneven, and like, you know, it's long and all over the place and weird. Point is, it was bad. So decided I needed a haircut, and I don't know where to go to get haircuts. Like one of those like embarrassing like truths is that like I have had my hair cut by anybody other than my mother like 3 times in my whole life. Like that's just it's like very few times. Actually 4 times now, huh? So I don't have like a barber that I go to or like a hairdresser. Like I don't have this knowledge. I don't know where as a dude to go. Like I don't like my gut reaction is to like you go to that one in the mall that has the cars out front or something like that, because that's like, you know, they cut boy hair there, and that's sort of it. It's like I'm like, can boys just go to any old salon to get their hair cut? And then, as I don't know these things, you know, I'm a hair cutting noob. Ooh, got stuff to discover. Sorry, cat jumping around. So I'm a haircut noob, but one of my friends has decided recently that she wanted to, like, she finished up university and whatnot and decided that, you know, the things that she was at university for, which I don't know what she was there for, English maybe? I don't know. She doesn't want to do with her life, which, that's fair enough. I certainly haven't done anything with my university education, so why should anybody else? Yeah, so she decided that it wasn't what she wanted to do, and she's decided she's going to go and do hairdressing. So she has an aunt who is already a hairdresser, so her aunt is sort of her mentor. Mentor's the wrong word. What's that? Like when a mechanic has like a baby mechanic that he teaches? There's a word for it. Apprentice. She's going to basically like doing like an apprenticeship sort of a thing for, you know, cutting hair, right? Totally makes sense to me. So, and her aunt is going to be her a princess. So, knowing as I did that she was learning or wanting to learn, I suggested to her, I'm like, hey, you know, you want to cut my hair? And she's like, you know, like I don't know how to. I'm like, oh, you know, it's fine. My hair's long. There's lots of like hair to make mistakes on if you do make mistakes, and otherwise, you know, like whatever. And she's like, yeah, you know, that sounds good. So we booked a time, whatever, with between her, myself, and her aunt that we could get like the chair and everything, and we went and I got my hair to get my hair cut, which is fine. I have no problem with her cutting my hair if she'd messed up, you know, whatever. Like I'm all for like helping with the education of others. Like when I was in hospital, after like with my surgery, whatever, they said like, oh, we're gonna have like a student doctor in the OR if that's okay with you. I'm like, yep, do it, you know, whatever. Like if it helps, it helps. You know, if you like, I don't care. I don't know, it doesn't bother me. Is the point. But anyways, we're getting fuel, talking, and we're on our way. We're gonna get over there. We're gonna discover some rocks. Let's turn off a little bit here. So the worst of it was like that I'd worked a day shift that day, and I don't work day shifts very often, very, very rarely. Like I'm an afternoons guy. My body is on an afternoons cycle. It is very difficult for me to switch to days. Days are basically like working midnights for me. So I'd worked days that day. I had slept almost not at all, and I had ran around like a chicken with my head cut off all day. This is all leading up to the point that my head was a sweaty mess, and so I felt fucking awful. Like I was super worried about it all day. I'm like, fuck, you know, it's just gonna be fucking greasy and gross, and like I'm already like, so I'm worried about like their comfort about touching my greasy, gross hair. Because I've been to a barber or anything like that so rarely that I forgot completely that they do like the shampooing thing, like the washing your hair before they cut it. And I don't know if that's like an everywhere thing or what, but like I'm so rarely have I gone, I didn't even know this. So I get there and she's like, oh, you know, like, how's it going? And like brings me around. She's like, well, I'm just gonna shampoo you. I'm like, oh, you know. So my first instinct is like, perfect, because my fucking hair is gross, and I'm so glad that you are going to do this, and so you don't have to touch gross hair. And then I stop and realize, like, and then, so, you know, I'm leaning back, whatever, we get prepared, and we're doing the hair wash, and then but it's weird. It's like awkward. It's like suddenly this is a friend of mine, like washing my hair, and it's like I would have no problem with the hair cutting part, but for whatever reason, like the washing the hair part was almost like too intimate. I don't know.
Frame shift drive
Like I don't know. It was almost like it crossed like a friendship boundary, and I don't know. Like I don't. I'm sure I don't think she felt that way, and I don't say that I really felt that way, but I felt like I should feel that way.
3.
You know? Okay, I told you, this was a conversation about me being socially awkward. Space coffee. Oh, that's very good. But yeah, so and then she's like, you know, like, and that's it. Like, you know, she's like washing my hair, and you know, you do a little scalp massage as she washes, and it was very good, you know. I remember like a comedian talking about, you know, haircuts, like hair shampoos, and you know, there's like the number 1 or the number 2. You get the number 1, which is like soft and it's wonderful, and it's like, you know, you get a massage, and there's number 2, and they're just like ripping at your head. This was definitely like a number 1 style. Yeah, it was just it was just like just a little bit too, I don't know what the right word is, familiar. Like it was like it was just, it felt a little bit, it just felt that little bit intimate. And again, this isn't because it was intimate, it's because I have no experience with getting my hair cut and the process of having my head like shampooed by another human being. Like it's just not something that, holy shit, we're miles away.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Fuel scooping.
But yeah, it's just not something that I've had happen to me. I've never had to deal with getting my hair shampooed by another person, and it's just really weird for me. Like, it's, for instance, like, because I've had, I work in a healthcare environment, so I see a lot of people who have to be bathed and things like that, and I'm like, I don't know how, like, I would feel, and my mother did it for my grandparents. My mother was a nurse, used to be a nurse, she's retired now.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
But she did it for, you know, a grandparents when they were old and couldn't, you know, necessarily bathe themselves. I'm like, I would be far more okay with like a professional doing it than like my daughter. I would feel really awkward having my daughter bathe me, no matter what her career path was. It would just feel real weird to me. And this was sort of like not on that same level, but it was like, it was right there for me. I was just like, this is weird. I am having a friend like clean me, and that is just, it seemed wrong in so many ways. Again, if I didn't know her, it would probably be easier. It's a professional just doing her job. But because it was somebody that I know, it was just a bit much. And that's it. That's all I gotta say about me being really super awkward. I mean, I was totally played it cool, but the worst of it, and then again, I'm running on no sleep, so I've got no energy. She's been telling her aunt like all these stories, because we're fairly close friends. She's been telling her aunt about me a lot, and I'm like, I'm sorry, she's getting like a low powered node, and she's not getting the full effect, as it were. So, yeah, felt bad. Alright, let's do one of these discovery things, and once we've done our dubstep scan, we got nothing, so we'll just scan this guy, whilst we fuel a bit more, top up the tanks, and we will call it an episode. So, until next time, guys, remember, it's okay to get your hair washed by another human being. It is not wrong at all, even if it feels that way sometimes. Fuck it, whatever. Ciao, I love you. Good night.